In the last lecture, we stopped at elliptic curve cryptography, and this elliptic curve cryptography is popularly used for the blockchain security, especially to achieve the confidentiality, integrity, and authentication, and as well as non-repudiation property. This ECC is a public key cryptography in which we generate the public keys, and also we can use the private key whatever we want. That we'll discuss now. So this elliptic curve cryptography is based upon the algebraic equation called elliptic curve, which is a non-singular elliptic curve. So it is a just recap of the previous lecture. In the singular elliptic curve, here we have the equation like 4a cube plus 27b square is equal to 0. If this in the elliptic curve equation, the a and b values, if you substitute here, if it becomes 0, then it's said to be a singular elliptic curve. Singular elliptic curve should not be considered because we will get the same roots again and again, or same the keys again and again. So hence we should not consider this particular singular elliptic curve. We should always use the non-singular elliptic curve. That means 4a cube plus 27b square not equal to 0. So this will allow us to establish the fact that the solution set E forms an abelian group. We have seen the properties of abelian group, that the group should be closed under the addition, and plus is associative. G has an identity element E. G contains the inverse, as well as plus should be the commutative. So when all these 5 are satisfied, then such groups are said to be abelian group. So when this is possible, so when the group is when the operations on the elliptic curve will result into the congruence, then this particular group properties will be achieved. So in order to achieve the congruence, so one must perform the modulo operation with the equation. So modulo operation means the remainder of the calculation will get. So here we need to perform the modulo operation to get the congruence relation. So hence we are going for this elliptic curve equation like y square is equal to x cube plus ax plus b. This is what the elliptic curve equation. The a and b values to be chosen in such a way that if you substitute this a and b values in the 4a cube plus 27b square, then that particular value should not equal to 0. This is what the non-singular equation to be considered. So this is a standard equation for the elliptic curve, and to achieve this particular group property, abelian group property, we need to modulo this equation with some prime number. So the prime number must be greater than 3. So you can consider any prime number depending upon the number of keys you want, the related prime number to be chosen. For example, if you want 50 keys, then what is the prime number to be chosen is the prime number which is greater than 50 to be chosen. Say for example 53, like that. So 53 can be chosen as the prime number, and you can do the operation. You can perform the operations with this on this particular elliptic curve to generate the public keys. So in the last lecture, we have also seen how to generate the public keys. That is, here generating of the public keys is nothing but generating of the points on the elliptic curve. So we all know that if you draw a line, the number of points on the line are infinity almost. So here, to limit how many points we want, we are going to perform this particular modulo. So if you don't do this modulo, and if you take large value, large prime number, obviously you get so many points, because the number of points on a line is almost infinity. So there is reason on the elliptic curve, if you want to generate points, obviously you need to have a limit of how many points you want to generate. As just now I told you, if you want 50 keys, then you take a prime number which is greater than 50, then that many points you will get. So for example, here there is a equation, curve equation, y square is equal to x cube plus ax plus b, but in place of a we have 1, and in place of b we have 6. And here z11, the prime number that we have considered is 11 here. So this is the curve equation. We have seen the last time in the last lecture that how to generate the keys. So in order to generate the keys, the maximum values that you will get with the prime number 11 or the modulo with 11 is up to 10. That means from 0 to 10 we'll get. So we have made a table in which the x value from 0 to 10 we have placed, and this x value, whatever we are initialized, has to be placed in the equation at the right hand side, that is x cube plus x plus 6, and we need to perform the modulo operation with 11. So whenever we do this, 0 cube plus 0 plus 6 is 6, 6 modulo 11 is 6. So like that you have to substitute for every element, that till the 10th element, 10 value. Because 10 value is, because why we are going to place up to 10? Because it is the modulo 11 operation. So you will get maximum of reminders from 0 to 10. In the same way, the y value to be placed from 0 has to be placed in y at the left hand side, because up to here we have done for the right hand side. We have to go for the right left hand side now. So y square, 0 square is 0, and 1 square is 1, and all these operations has to be moduloed with the 11. So whenever we do the modulo operation, whatever the remainder that you get for the right hand side and the remainder that you get for the left hand side, if those are matched, and you need to make the corresponding xy pairs to get a point. So here 5 is the remainder that you got with the 4 and 7 when you substitute in y, and you when you substitute 2 in right hand side, you got the remainder 5. So with 2 as x is equal to 2, with y as 4, we got the same remainder. We have to identify such common reminders for which we got for what value of x and y we got the same remainder, that need to be identified, and we need to go for the making pair of them. So here 5, for example, here if you look at 2 cube plus 2 is 10 plus 6 16, 16 mod 11 is 5. So this is the remainder. But if you look at 4, if y is equal to 4 means 4 square is 16, 16 mod 11 is 5. So the both are having the same remainder with x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 4 by substituting in this equation. Hence, we can make the pair 2 comma 4. So this is the 2 comma 4 is a point we got. 2 comma 7 is another point. Like that, 3 comma 5, 3 comma 6, 5 comma 2, 5 comma 9, 7 comma 2, 7 comma 9, 8 comma 3 and 8 comma 8, 10 comma 2 and 10 comma 9. So these are the points that will be generated. You look at here with the prime number as 11, how many points were generated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Around 12 points were generated. So that means you may get equal to or more than that prime number that you have considered. That many keys that you can get. So here the points what we got is said to be the public keys. And along with these points, we need to consider one more point, that is point at infinity. We have seen in the elliptic curve equation that the curve will not end anywhere in the first coordinate of the coordinate axis or in the fourth coordinate. So that is the reason we need to consider a point which is called point at infinity. So whatever the points we generate, along with this one, point at infinity to be considered. Okay. Next is what are the points you have generated. These points are said to be the seed points. By using these points, one can generate any number of public keys what they want. So for example, I have 10 users in my lab. I will give this point to one user, and second point to the second user, third point to the third user. By using this point, they can generate as many number of keys they want. That is what the principle of key management, in which they can generate the keys, they can go for rekeying, refreshing of the keys, and all these key management operations they can do. So if you give only one key, and if he has to use the same key for a long time, then there is a problem of leaking out the key. So that is the reason they want to go for repeating of the keys. They want to go for trying of new keys. But whatever they try, they must be from the same base. So here these points are from the same equation. So whatever the operations that you do on using these points, and if you want to generate new keys, then all these all those points will again fall under the same curve equation, because all the users will accept on the same curve equation and will go for generating of the points. So please remember, here whatever the points are generated are said to be the seed points or public keys. Here whatever the points here are said to be the seed points, or we can also say that these are also said to be public keys. So generating our group from the previous chart and including the point at infinity, we have totally 13 points. So since the O of E is prime, the group is cyclic. So we can generate the group by choosing any point other than the point at infinity. Let our generator is alpha is equal to 2, 7. That means here 2, 7 is a point. So for example, this is the second point was given to a user. Now this 2.7 may be used by that user and can generate any number of points, any number of public keys he wanted. Okay, so that is what the beauty of this particular elliptic curve. Again, whatever the public keys he generated. So please remember here, public key are here the point are one and the same here. So all these are said to be the keys. All these points are said to be the keys. Okay, don't think that 2 is public key and 4 is secret key. No, not like that. This entire point is public key. Okay, this entire point is public key. This must be remembered. Okay, don't get confused that 2 is public key and 4 is secret key. No, not like that. 2, 4, both combinedly it is said to be public key. Okay. So now 2, 7 is to be used as the generator. Now, if you use 2, 7 is as a generator, then this 2, 7 can be used given to the user, and a user can generate as many public keys he want, and he can share with anyone. So this is what the beautiful feature of the elliptic curve, and we'll see step by step that how this will be used. First of all, we'll see what the Bitcoin uses. So here, in case of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin uses the specification 256K1 curve. The specification 256K1 curve is a standard curve specified by the standards of the elliptic curve equation group. So that group has mentioned this P192 curve and the specification 256K1 curve. So the Bitcoin blockchain will use this curve, and with the equation as ZP of 0, 7. 0 is A value is 0 and B is 7. That means y square is equal to x cube plus 7. That is what the equation will be taken, and the prime number is like this. If you convert the prime number which was considered by this specification 256K1, this is the equation in the hexadecimal form. Sorry, this is the prime number in the hexadecimal form. And the equivalent prime is like this. P is equal to, this is the lengthiest prime number, longest prime number that will be considered by the Bitcoin blockchain to generate the points. So now the specification is 256K1 elliptic curve will look like this. This is the curve that will look like this, and as I told you that every user will be supplied with the key, which is public key. Now, if two users want to establish a communication, then how they can generate the or how they can establish the communication, or if the same user who is having the supplied with the key want to generate multiple keys, then how is it possible? So that is possible via point addition, point doubling operation. Here, point addition operation. Let P and Q are two given points on the elliptic curve. Then the point R is equal to P plus Q is calculated as follows. Consider 2 points P and Q. Let, for example, this is the elliptic curve as we have seen in the previous slides as well as in the last lecture. Let P is the point which is generated on the elliptic curve, and Q is another point which is generated on the elliptic curve. Now, this P may be given to one user, and this Q may be given to one user. Now they want to establish, they want to generate a new pair of keys or new key, so that with that key they may want to establish the communication. So now I want to generate a here the question is to generate what is the how to add these two points so that we can generate a new point. So let the point, this is said to be point addition. How can you add 2 points? So for example, in the coordinate geometry, if you have x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2, if you want to add 2 points, so obviously you need to draw a line and you need to get the slope of that, and then with that you will use this. So find a line which passes through the P and Q. So you take a line which passes through the P and Q. For example, if P is here and Q is here, so obviously you have to draw a line like this. Okay, if P is here and Q is here, you have to draw a line like this. So, but in this case, P is at the above coordinate and Q is in the below coordinate. You draw a line like this. So find a line which passes through P and Q. Find a point on the curve that intersects the line passes through the P and Q. So just to identify a point on the curve where this particular line, passing line, will intersect it. So here in this area there is no curve, but the first time this particular curve, the line, when you pass through this P and Q, it is touching here. Okay, first time it is touching here. So that is the reason this point we are going to take. So the addition of this P and Q will be the mirror image of the common intersection point of the line which is passing through P and Q. So mirror image means this is the point, its mirror image will be here. Okay, this mirror image will be here. So the point P and Q, a line is going to pass, and here is a point where this particular line is going to be intersect, and the addition of P and Q will become the mirror image of the point where that particular line is going to be intersect. So this point is there, its mirror image. This is to be R. This R is the one. Okay, R is equal to the addition of P and Q. Now we'll see how to calculate this R value. So before going to that, the first case is P and Q are different points, and how to add these 2 points. Now second case is a user is supplied with a point P, like previously as we have seen here. The user is supplied with 2,7. Now how we can generate multiple points? If 2 points are different, then that is said to be point addition. The adding points are both are same. Like for example, if you are supplied with 2,7 and you want to generate multiple points, then the main thing is the best way of doing this is by performing the point doubling. That means this is the alpha you are having. You can make 2 alpha. 2 alpha means alpha plus alpha. It is just like R is equal to P plus Q, where P is equal to Q. It's just like this. So here 2 alpha you can make, alpha plus alpha. So 2,7 plus 2,7, just like this. So this is what is called point doubling. So now here point doubling is another technique of point addition in ECC. Is instead of adding 2 arbitrary points, one may choose a base point on the curve and may add the same point again and again to get new points on the same curve. So how it can be done? So let, for example, you have been supplied with point P. Now we know that principle that first you draw a line which pass through this P. So you may draw a line which pass through P in any way. Okay. For example, here this is the way we have written. So you may ask me that why can't we draw like this? Okay, you can draw like this, no problem. And here this is the way. Okay, you can do like this. And can you do like this? Yes, you can do like this. But to do that, we require some steps to be followed. So that is the reason this line was shown like this. Here, this is the point. Okay, and a line is passing through this point. Now, where this line is intersecting here, this is the point where it is intersecting. So this is the point where the line is intersecting. Whenever this point is intersecting, we already seen that in P plus Q, where that particular line is passing through the P and Q, and first it is intersecting, its mirror image will become the point addition. In the same way, the line is passing through P, and this line is intersecting on the curve at this particular point, and its mirror image will become the 2P. P plus P is equal to 2P. So draw a line through P and observe an intersecting point on the curve using this line. Now find the third point on the curve intersecting by the reflecting x-axis to get P plus P is equal to 2P. So this is the basic thing that you need to remember. Here, if we add P and 2P, then what will become? It will become 3P. If I want 4P, then 3P plus P. If I want 5P, 4P plus P. So like that, by using one single point, a user can generate any number of public keys he wants. In this way, he may do key rekeying or key refreshing, this kind of activities which are the part of the key management. Okay. In this way, a point can be added any number of times as required. However, one important aspect to look into is how to speed up the point addition. Let one want to calculate 16P, then can you add like this P plus P plus P plus P plus like this? So already you might have computed up to 8P or maybe 4P. If you have 4P, then you add the 4P for 4 times so that you will get 16P. If you have, by this time you have already calculated, for example, 8P, then you add 8P for 2 times, then it will become 16P. So no need to go for P plus P plus P plus P like up to 16 times. Okay. So then it may be calculated as 8P plus 8P, where 8P is equal to 4P plus 4P, or 4P is equal to 2P plus 2P, or where 2P is equal to P plus P. That means with the first one is 1, 2, 3, 4. Within 4 steps, you can get 16P. Okay. Instead of adding P for 16 times, within 4 steps you can get 16P. So it means 16P can be calculated in 4 addition steps instead of adding 16 per P for 16 times. It is always recommended to identify possibly less number of steps to calculate point multiplication. Now the question is, let one want to calculate x into P. So here x may be some number, you don't know what is the number, where x is a random number of 256-bit integer. So 256-bit integer means, for example, if it is 16-bit integer means maximum value you will get is 35,676, like a range of integer minus 32,766 to plus 32,765. This is the range you will get, right? Like that, the random number 256-bit integer means 2 power 256. That means that much large, in that particular large range, you can choose whatever the random number you want. So x is a random number, and I want to multiply this x with P. For example, if the x is like this 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, like that up to 15 times, 15 ones, okay, and into P. So obviously, you are supposed to do that particular multiplication with P. So how many additions are required to find a solution? Obviously you need to do many additions to get the solution. Okay, so that means it is a complex task to get the solution. And if I get the solution, and if I give you the solution to you, can you identify this x value? It's very difficult to identify x value. With which x value you got this resultant value, okay, is very, very difficult to identify. So the complexity of tracing back is very difficult, because it is around 256-bit integer. That means you are picking up a random number in the range of 2 power 256. So just to recall the integer range of integer in C programming, like 16-bit integer, 2 power 16 means 65,536. From that you are going to pick one value. So like that here 2 power 256. From that you are picking a random number and multiplying with P. So here 16P is nothing but you are multiplying with P. That means 16P is divided into 8P, 8P. Okay, that is a way of calculation. So like that, if I get the resultant value and if I give you the resultant value, can you get this x value? It's a very difficult task. So that is the reason. Can we use this particular X as private key? Obviously yes, because we are giving the user a freedom to select whatever the random number they want in the 256-bit integer range, and that random number will be kept secret at their end. And this P is a public one who everyone knows this particular public. Even though everyone knows the public key and whatever the result, it is very, very difficult to trace back what is the X value, because you don't know how many additions you have done, how many multiplications you have done to get that particular resultant solution. So that is the reason whatever the points generated on the public elliptic curve are said to be the public keys only. Private key can be selected by the user at their own will from the 256-bit integer range. That is what the beauty of this particular elliptic curve cryptography. Here you are not forcing to use this particular key as the private key to the user like RSA algorithm. But here we are going to give the freedom to the user. You choose whatever the random number you want in the 256-bit range and do the multiplication with P. Okay, where P is the public key that you have supplied. So that is what the thing, that is what the flexibility given by the elliptic curve cryptography to the users. Okay, so with this curve equation, you only generate the public key, but the private key will be given, it will be chosen by the users at their own will out of the 256-bit integer range. Now the base point in Bitcoin, there is no specific reason in choosing this curve by Satoshi Nakamoto. Actually, this Satoshi Nakamoto is the one who introduced this Bitcoin in 2008 as a white paper, but no one knows who is this person, and whether somebody is predicting that he is not the person, he is the group of people like that. Okay, so this mystery and all we'll see afterwards. However, you may change the curve if you want to build your own cryptocurrency. So from the specification 256K1, you may choose whatever the curve you want, which was specified by the elliptic curve specification group. The elliptic curve specification group has mentioned some specific standard curves. You may use whatever the curve you want if you want to build your own cryptocurrency or maybe your own blockchain. So here X coordinate is like this, Y coordinate is like this. So it's a very lengthy curve, okay, and a huge number of values. There is very lengthy value you are going to consider in this X and Y coordinates. Let we'll consider this one 2,7, which was generated from the earlier point here. Okay, Z11 of 1,6. So 2,7. I'm going to consider. Now we'll see this point addition, point multiplication, point addition and point doubling concept. Now we can generate this using by using the rules of addition we defined earlier as 2 alpha is equal to alpha plus alpha. Now alpha, what we're going to consider is 2,7, and how we'll generate 2 alpha, 3 alpha, 4 alpha. So for this, 3 cases of the solution need to be considered. This is very, very important. You can also make note on the paper. Anyhow, I will place the slides afterwards. But in meanwhile, for understanding, you may note on the paper. Suppose P and Q are the points that belongs to the elliptic curve, where P is equal to x1 comma y1 and Q is equal to x2 comma y2. The addition of the P and Q is not straightforward like our normal 2-dimensional coordinate geometry. There is a specific procedure will be there with which we are supposed to do this P and Q operations, addition operations. So P is equal to x1 comma y1 and Q is equal to x2 comma y2. So we must consider the 3 cases. The first case is x1 not equal to x2, x1 is equal to x2 and y1 is equal to minus y2, x1 is equal to x2 and y1 is equal to y2. Let for example, alpha is equal to 2,7. I want to do point doubling. That means 2 alpha I want to calculate. So alpha plus alpha in which case it will fall, under which case it will fall. So x1 is equal to x2 because alpha plus alpha x1 that is 2 comma 7 comma 2 comma 7. So 2 comma 7 and 2 comma 7. x1 is equal to x2. Okay. y1 is equal to y2. 7 and 7. So this is the third case. If while coming to the previous case, like as we have seen here, p and q values 2 comma 7 and some other value, as we have seen here in this case, p is a different point and q is different point, then obviously you will get here x1 is equal to x2 and y1 is equal to some other value. So if x1 is not equal to x2, then how we are supposed to add? So here three cases are there, which was you are supposed to check these three cases. According to these three cases, you are supposed to perform the addition based on these three cases. These cases must be considered when defining addition on our solution set. Defining addition on the elliptic curve under the case 1. What is the case 1? x1 not equal to x2. So here example is x1 not equal to x2. If x1 not equal to x2 and y1 and y2 can be same. Okay, this is what the thing here. For example, x1 here x1 may be 2 comma 3. Assume like that. So here x2 may be 3 comma 3. Okay. So in this case, x1 is not equal to x2, but y1 can be equal to y2. This is what the condition. Or y1 may not be equal to y2 also. Okay. You may take another thing like 3 comma 4. So this is another point. For example, in this case, x1 is equal to x2 and y1 is equal to y2. If you consider this point, this particular point, then x1 is equal to x2. X1 not equal to x2 and y1 not equal to y2. In this case, what you are supposed to do? So x3, y3 will be calculated like this: lambda square minus x1 minus x2. Y3 will become lambda of x1 minus x3 minus y1. This is the formula you are supposed to use for calculating x3 and y3 when you add x1, y1 and x2, y2. What is this lambda? Lambda is the slope of the line when you are going to pass through the point P and Q. So this is the line you pass through the P when you go for point doubling. In case of point addition, you do like this. Now this is the slope of the line, lambda. The slope of the line will be calculated like this: y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x2. Remember, this entire calculation, all calculations, whatever the calculations you do, all these calculations should form an abelian group. So that is the reason all the calculations must be moduloed. Okay, moduloed with P. So you have calculated lambda. This one also should be moduloed with P. So y2 minus y1. Let, for example, if you look at here, x1 comma y2, y1, x2 comma y2. y2 minus y1, 3 minus 3, 0 by x2 minus x1, 3 minus 2, 1. 0 by 1 mod P. For example, it is Z11, mod is 1, 11. So 0 by 1 mod 11. So 0 mod 11 is 0 mod 11 is 0. So lambda slope will become 0. Okay. If it is different, for example 3 comma 4, if you look at so y2 minus y1. So 4 minus 3 is 1 by x2 minus x1, 3 minus 2, 1. 1 modulo 11. So what it will become? 1 modulo 11 is 1. So the slope will become 11. So slope will become 1. So this 1 will be substituted here. 1 square minus x1 value 2 minus x3 3. Okay. y3 is equal to lambda is 1. That is slope is 1. 1 of x1 minus x3. x1 minus x3. Here what are the x3 value you will get? That x3 minus y. Again this will also be, okay, this will also be moduloed with p. Whatever the operation you do with the elliptic curves, all the operations must be moduloed with p. Okay, from the generation of the points to point addition, point doubling. Clear? So this is the way you are supposed to perform point addition in case of case 1. Now, while coming to the case 2, case 2 is x1 is equal to x2 and y1 is equal to minus y2. If this is there, then x1 comma y1 plus x2 comma y2 is equal to x3 comma y3 belongs to E, and the conditions and the case is like this: x1 is equal to x2 and y1 is equal to y minus y2. Here solutions are not possible. If the points addition are like this, solutions are not possible because it is completely in the other side of the axis where line cannot be passed through. That is the reason the solution is not possible. So the reason x comma y plus x comma minus y will become the point at infinity, will become the infinity point, which will become O, the point at infinity. While coming to the third case is if both x and y are equal, sorry, x1 and x2 and y1 and y2 are equal. It is just like the case of the point doubling. In case of point doubling, first lambda will be calculated like this: 3x1 square plus a by 2y1. Again, this should be moduloed with p. Again, the same thing here. Even if you calculate x3 or y3, so all these operations should be moduloed with p, because we should get in the range of 11 only. Any value should be fall under the range of 11 only. The congruence relation must be maintained. So the reason, whatever the operation you do, that must be moduloed with p. So here lambda is equal to 3x1 square plus a by 2y1. y3 is equal to lambda of x1 minus x3 minus y1 modulo p, and x3 is equal to, after calculating lambda, first you need to calculate x3 value, lambda square minus x1 minus x2, then you will get x3 value. This x3 value will be used here, lambda of x1 minus x3 minus y1. I'm not going to details of how this was defined. Just as a formula I'm going to give you for your easy remembrance. Now your task is take 2 points of your own, your wish, from the z11 of 1 comma 6. So you take the value 2 comma 4 and 7 comma 9. So x1 is not equal to x2 and y1 is also not equal to y2. So this will fall under the case 1. Okay. Now take 2 points 2 comma 4 and 2 comma 7. x1 is equal to x2. Okay, but x1 is equal to x2, but y1 not equal to y2. Right? And you take whatever the point you want, 10 comma 9 for example. Perform the point doubling on this 10 comma 9 and 10 comma 9. So this exercise you do with respect to the formulas that I have mentioned here. and you take up the point 2 comma 7 and calculate 2 alpha. That is, perform the point doubling, which will fall under the case 3. This is the case. Under this case, you will get. So under this case, whether you got 5 comma 2 or not, you just should cross check. That is the exercise for you for this class. So this is what we call case 3 is. The point at infinity is the identity element. P plus point at infinity is equal to 0. Point at infinity plus P is equal to P. The same value. That means if you add with the point at infinity, you will get the same value. From case 2 and the identity element, we now have the existence of the inverse. Beyond the scope here to prove that what we have commutativity and associativity as well. Therefore, the set of solutions E forms an abelian group. And please remember, here if you got a value like this, 1 by 3 mod 11. So how to calculate this 1 by 3 mod 11? So modulo operation will be done on the plain integers, like either maybe 3 or 1 or something. But if it is 1 by 3, how to do? So you are supposed to bring on top of this like 3 inverse mod 11. Okay. So this will become the inverse modulo. This will become inverse modulo. So you need to do the inverse mod operation to compute this value. So for this first thing you are supposed to remember is how to perform the inverse modulo operation, and remember the cases, case 1, case 2, case 3. Observe the points under which case it will fall, and you need to use the corresponding formulas to generate the x3, y3 values. So this is the way you are supposed to perform the operation. Okay. One thing one must remember, in elliptic curve cryptography, everything will be considered as points. So we have seen previously how to generate points with the elliptic curve that we have chosen. Those points are the public keys. Elliptic curve cryptography will give the user a facility that he can choose what are the private key he wants. So the public keys are the points that are generated on the elliptic curve. While coming to the encryption, suppose we have an point alpha is equal to 2 comma 7. Recall, this is the point that we have already got via the elliptic curve that we have chosen. From that only this 2 comma 7 we have to pick it up. As just now we discussed that the ECC will give us the facility to choose whatever the private key we want. Suppose we have the point alpha is equal to 2 comma 7. Assume that this may be the key, and choose a private key 7. Then beta is equal to 7 alpha. That means you have to get beta value as 7 alpha. That is the private key and the public key that what we have shared. So 7 alpha means it is just like 7p. You have to add p for 7 times, that we have seen last time. So 7 alpha, if you perform 7 alpha with the 2 7 on the elliptic curve z11 of 1 comma 6, we will get 7 comma 2. The encryption will be done like this. The encryption will be done like this. EK, that is encryption of x. X is the message. X is the message with the key, that what the key is there. So here key is the private key. So message comma key is equal to k of alpha. K of alpha means this is the key, private key that what you have chosen, into alpha, that is the value here, that is 2,7. So ek of x comma alpha is equal to k. K is the value, that is the private key that you have chosen, 7 alpha comma x. X is the message that what you have taken, x plus k of beta. K is 7 and beta value. What is this beta? This is the beta value. Now x means a message. For example, a message consisting of let like this. Now this L value will be converted into ASCII format. So what is the corresponding ASCII value for L that will be taken? That will be added here. Okay. And next E corresponding ASCII value will be taken and will be used with here. So X is the value, means here E will not be directly added. E corresponding ASCII character will be added with this K of B. And T corresponding ASCII character will be ASCII value will be taken and will be used here with addition. Like that, the encryption will be performed. So ek of x comma k, if x is equal to let let, then L will be added, then we will get a 1 point. K will E will be E corresponding ASCII number will be added and we'll get a corresponding point, and T corresponding ASCII character corresponding value will be taken and will be added. So ek of x comma k is equal to k of alpha comma x plus k of beta. So here k of alpha is what we know that the public key is 2,7 comma x plus x of 7 comma 2, x plus k of 7 comma 2. So where x is related to the x is belong to the elliptic curve only, and k lies between 0 to 12. So why it is k lies between 0 to 12 means here k is the key value. This is between 0 and 12. Of course, you can take any k value of your choice. There is no rule like this. But here one constraint has mentioned that take a key value between 0 and 12 like that. The reason is the elliptic curve may be having the prime number like p as 13. So that reason they might have taken this as the between the 0 and 12 value. While coming to the decryption part, decryption will be done like this. D of k of y1 comma y2, because whatever the values you will get here, this k of 2,7 will become y1, and x plus k of 7 comma 2 will become y2. These values will be sent to this and receiver. So now the receiver will use the decryption like this: dk of y1 comma y2 is equal to y2 minus k private. What is the private key is there? The private y1. And so far we have seen adding of 2 points, but now we are going to see the subtraction. dk of y1 comma y2 is equal to y2 minus 7y1. This is the 7 is the private key that we have chosen, that 7y1 will be done. So this computation will be done. This is based upon L-Gamal scheme of elliptic curve encryption. We'll see an example. Suppose Alice wants to send a message to Bob. The plain text x is 10, 9. You may ask me how you got this 10, 9. For example, I told you the message is L. L corresponding ASCII number will be taken. The L corresponding ASCII number is multiplied with any point on the elliptic curve E. So thereby we will get this 10, 9. So plain text x is equal to 10, 9, which is a point on elliptic curve E. choose a random value for a k, for k. So that means some random key you want to select. So k is equal to 3. Assume that k is the private key was taken as 3. Now calculate y1 comma y2. How to calculate? Y1 is equal to 3 alpha, as we have seen previously. So the key into alpha. So 3 of 2 comma 7 is equal to 8 comma 3. Y2 is equal to 10 comma 9. This is the x value, 10 comma 9 plus 3 of k of 7 comma 2. 7 comma 2 is equal to here 7 comma 2. So here I have typed mistakenly. This should be instead of 7 comma 2, it should be 8 comma 3. It should be 8 comma 3 because it is 3 beta. Okay. So now calculate y1 comma y2. So y1 is equal to 3 of 2 comma 7. This is 8 comma 3. Now y2 is equal to 10 comma 9 plus 3 of 8 comma 3. So this 3 into 8 comma 3 will become 3 comma 5 here. And 3 into 8 comma 3 means 8 comma 3 plus 8 comma 3 plus 8 comma 3. P plus P plus P, like that. So if you make it 3 comma 5. So if you add these two, then you will get 10 comma 2. Now what the Alice will do is, Alice will transmit this y1 8 comma 3 comma 10 comma 2. Now y1 is 8 comma 3 and y2 is 10 comma 2. Once Bob receives 8 comma 3 and 10 comma 2, he calculates like y2 minus k private y1, y2 minus 7 y1. So here Bob's private key is 7, for example. X is equal to 10 comma 2 minus Bob's private key 7 into 8 comma 3. So that is 7, 8 comma 3. 7 into 8 comma 3 means 7p, like that. P plus P plus P plus P, like that. So finally they will get 3 comma 5. So 10 comma 2 minus 3 comma 5. Remember, whenever the subtraction is going on, only the assume that this is x comma y as the point, only y value will be changed. How it will be changed? We have seen this curve is on the prime number, that is z11 of 1 comma 6. This curve is of z11 of 1 comma 6. Z11 is the prime number with modulo prime number 11. So whenever the minus 5 is there, subtract from the prime number. 11 minus 5 is 6. So make it as 6 here. 3 as it is. Now 10 comma 2, 10 comma 2 will be like this. Now assume that here 3 comma 7 is there. So minus of 3 comma 7 is there. So what could be written here? 11 minus 7, which is 4. Okay, that is what the subtraction. This is the way you will perform the subtraction. So the subtraction will be done with respect to the prime number that you have chosen for the elliptic curve. So if it is a prime number is 13, then 13 minus 5. If it is 11, 11 minus 5. So we are coming across the same prime number from the beginning, that is z11 of 1 comma 6. So we choose the same 11. So 11 minus 5 is 6. So hence 6 will be there. So whenever this subtraction was done, here it will become plus. Instead of minus, it will become plus. We will know that P plus Q as the formula that we will to apply, and we will check whether x1 not equal to x2 and y1 not equal to y2. Then we have a standard formula for calculating slope and the x3, y3 values. So by applying that, we will get 10 comma 9 as the resultant. So what is the 10 comma 9? the same 10,9 is the one that we have sent by the sender. The same 10,9 will get here. So which was the plain text. So this is the way how the encryption and decryption will be done in the elliptic curve cryptography. How addresses will be generated in general, whenever you go for creating of a cryptocurrency account, how an address will be generated for you. Address of a cryptocurrency can be generated as follows. Choose a standard elliptic curve equation, either it may be P192 equation or specification 256K1 equation as chosen by Bitcoin. Choose a private key of your own choice. You can choose, you have freedom to choose whatever the private key you want. Compute the public key using private key. So how you compute the public key using private key? Just to multiply it, private key with 1 point on the elliptic curve equation. Hash the public key to get the address. So hashing means here you are supposed to apply the cryptographic hash function on the public key that what you have generated. So that whatever the message register you will get, that will be the address of your system or address of your account. So this is the way the public addresses will be generated in the by using the elliptic curve equation and with the public key and private keys. So private key is not known to anyone. Public key is known to everyone, and the public key is also in the hashed format. They will be knowing that is cryptographic hash function. That because this public key was sent out to the cryptographic hash function, and thereby a message register you will get. That message register can be displayed outside to public, which is as your address. So this is the way how addresses will be generated in the cryptocurrencies. So this is what the entire elliptic curve equations and elliptic curve cryptography, encryption, decryption, point addition, point doubling. In tutorial sections, we'll see in details some examples, working examples for this elliptic curve point generation, point addition, point doubling, encryption, decryption parts.